the Louis Vuitton Speedy Bandolier 25 versus the Coach Ruby Satchel. Which one would you choose? Let's have a look. Hello everyone, welcome back to another mommy review where I review all things for love of. Today I'm doing a comparison between Louis Vuitton Speedy 25 versus Coach's Ruby Satchel. Now before I get started, if you like the content on this channel, please consider giving this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. It'll really help a lot. Thank you so much for considering. And for those of you who are returning back to the channel, welcome back. Thank you so much for supporting my love for handbag and this handbag lover's journey. So today I want to do a comparison between the Coach Ruby Satchel versus Louis Vuitton Speedy Bandolier 25. They both have a very similar, distinct shape, and I just want to have a look and see if Coach is an affordable alternative to consider. Seeing with the multiple price increases we're seeing with Louis Vuitton, I am starting to branch out and looking for other affordable alternatives. That's when I came across the Coach Ruby Satchel. Now there are a couple different versions that are available, so I'm going to show you what they have in store. I'll be going over similarities and differences, and then ultimately come to the conclusion, is it worth it? Should we save or splurge? Now to start off, I'm going to do a comparison of the Ruby Satchel. It does come in two sizes at Coach. This is the larger version, the 25. Is currently priced at $730. This one's because it's in a more exotic skin. It's actually a pebble leather with glove tan leather and then snake skin. That's also integrated into the design. The wholesome black one is priced at $670. I think this is probably the most classic out of all the design. Also a natural pebble leather along with glove tan leather. With that in mind, with this combination of leather, you could expect that the handbag is going to be a little bit on the heavier side. It does come with a handle that's 3.5-inch drop. I think it looks great on the crooks of your elbow, but it also comes with a detachable strap that you can use as a crossbody as well. The dimensions of the handbag is 9 3/4 inches in length, 7 inches in height, and 5 3/4 inches in width. And you can see there's also the signature canvas and also this beautiful white one or chalk color. That's also really nice. So here you can see the handle can come down nicely. It comes with this key holder. So far I have been really impressed by Coach lately. I feel like this Ruby Satchel gives me the whole speedy vibe that you get from Louis Vuitton. It's certainly very similar in shape. I love how there's multiple ways to wear it. It does have 2 zippers, so it can go both ways. I think the Ruby is just simply gorgeous. It's part of the 1941 collection. It is thicker leather. For this one, I believe the weight is approximately 2.3 pounds, so it's definitely not a light bag. And here's how it looks like on the inside. The lining is suede on the interior for the Ruby Satchel. I think that it has a lot of potential if you're really liking this particular style silhouette for handbags and you just don't have the budget for Louis Vuitton or just don't feel like the quality is up to par for Louis Vuitton as of late. So this is a great alternative. So here is the strap that it comes with. It's a little bit wider as opposed to the Louis Vuitton one, which I'll compare later on. But the strap is adjustable, which I really like because not all of us are the same height. So it's nice that you can curate it to your height. You can see there's a decorative turn lock on the side. This one, I think the height is a little bit shorter than the original Speedy Bandolier, but I don't know if that's necessarily a deal breaker for everybody. And that's how the interior looks like. So it's not textile compared to what you would see in the Louis Vuitton version. But so far, I'm really loving like the quality of the bag that I've been seeing consistently with Coach. Here, you will notice on the Coach version for the Ruby Satchel, it does have feet on the bottom, so it adds a little protection and extra level elegance. So far I want to highlight like some key differences between the Speedy Bandolier 25s versus the Ruby Satchel 25. Hopefully this will help you decide whether one is something that you would prefer to add to your handbag collection. So number one, of course, is the capacity. Yeah, like I mentioned before, the height of this bag is slightly shorter than the original Speedy bandolier. So the capacity is going to be a little bit less for the Coach. As well, keep in mind this is in faux leather, so it's not like as malleable as it would be for the canvas that you find from Louis Vuitton. Difference number two is the feet on the bottom of the Speedy is just obsolete. There's no feet on the bottom for the Speedy. I suppose there are decorative or protective feet, as you would say, for the Coach Ruby Satchel. So if that is something you really like for that extra detailing, you would probably go with the Coach version. Number three is the lining. So the lining for the Coach Ruby Satchel is suede, whereas the interior lining for Speedy is textile. Number four is structure. Canvas is definitely more kind of like malleable and slouchy for the Speedy, whereas for the Coach version, because it's in this like type of thick leather, it definitely keeps the structure a little bit more and looks less slouchy. Difference number five, canvas versus leather. If you love glove tan leather, definitely go with the Coach version, but if you like canvas, I think Louis Vuitton is definitely the way to go. Okay, number six is the weight. Given the Ruby Satchel is made from this like exquisite leather, even without any items in it, it's pretty heavy. So it's 2.3 pounds. So if you are looking for something a little bit more lightweight, I'll probably go with the Louis Vuitton Speedy Bandolier 25 in the canvas. And last but not least, certainly, is number seven, and that is the price difference that you will notice between these two bags. I feel like that is the elephant in the room, right? There is such a large price difference between the two bags. For the Coach version, if you get the larger size, which is the 25, is $670. But if you get the smaller, the Ruby Satchel 18, it's priced at $480. And the dimensions for the Ruby Satchel 18 is 7 inches in length, 4 3/4 inches in height, and 4 1/4 inches in width. And having said that, I feel like the size is pretty good for the smaller version, but the larger version is definitely more like closer in size compared to the Speedy Bandolier 25. So those are some key differences so far. So if you compare the price of a leather bag from Coach, roughly around $670, versus let's say Louis Vuitton Bandolier 25, which is priced at $2,330 for the canvas version. So it's not leather, it's just the canvas version. That is a whopping close to, I would say, $1,700 difference. That is quite a significant difference in that I think you can get another handbag at that price. But with that said, when you're buying Louis Vuitton, you're also purchasing like the legacy behind it, the branding behind it, and you also get like different types of like servicing, the packaging. So like those are kind of extras that you can't really always account for just looking at the handbag alone. And when you're buying Louis Vuitton, I know that that bag will depreciate over time, but there will be some degree of resale value in the pre-loved market. So it's definitely an investment piece that if you plan on selling it in the future, there will be some value in it. And not to mention that I think it is a great statement piece. I feel like it's something, it's an heirloom piece that you can pass from years to come as well. So here on the website, you can see the Speedy Bandolier in the 25 in the demier bin. I think it is a beautiful classic bag. I feel like so far I've been so pro Coach. I really need to like give a shout out to Louis Vuitton as well, because I feel like this style of the handbag with silhouette is just so signature Louis Vuitton. Really need to give them credit for this, because the Speedy is, after all, one of the classic signature handbags from Louis Vuitton, and I just feel like there is still a place for a handbag lover to add that to the collection. So here's how the bag looks like. Has this beautiful red lining for the demier bin. The inside line is actually different depending on the different prints on the monogram that you purchase for the handbag, but it's just such a statement piece that even if you're not into handbags, you would know this is a Louis Vuitton handbag. And keep in mind, the strap I think is a little bit thinner and there aren't as many adjustable options for the strap compared to the Coach Ruby Satchel. So here I want to show you the monogram version, which I think is beautiful, and when that leather patinas, it's just gonna be like gorgeous. I feel like the Speedy bandolier really ages well over time. Despite this handbag having been out for a while, like a number of decades, it's still like quite popular, and they still produce it from Louis Vuitton. That really speaks a lot for this particular handbag. When you think of Louis Vuitton, people often think of the Speedy. So you can see they have the demi-azur, which is also really super cute. I think it's great for like a summer bag. Definitely a lot lighter, and because it's a lot lighter, it has a larger capacity compared to the Ruby Satchel that is a little bit more structured because of the thick glove tan leather. I think for a lot of people, the weight of the handbag plays a large role in deciding whether you would prefer a canvas handbag versus a leather handbag. So with that said, I have gone over all of the major differences that I have pondered over, especially when I was deciding whether to go with a Ruby Satchel versus a Louis Vuitton Speedy Bandolier 25. I think both handbags are equally gorgeous and incredibly beautiful. But at the end of the day, which do you think is worth it more? Are you a fan of the Louis Vuitton Bandolier 25 Speedy? Or are you a fan of the Coach Ruby Satchel? I think both have like their pros and cons. At the end of the day, I think it really depends on each person, what they plan on using the bag for. I feel like if it's a day-to-day handbag, I personally would prefer the Louis Vuitton Speedy because it's a lot lighter. I'm just not a big fan of like heavy handbags. But I think the Ruby Satchel, if you are on a budget, it's a great alternative compared to Louis Vuitton. I would like to hear from you guys. If you have a choice between these two handbags, which do you think is worth it more? Would you go with Louis Vuitton or Ruby Satchel from Coach? And if you have any of these handbags, I would love to hear your personal experience from it, whether you would love it or leave it. So that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for joining me on this comparison of Louis Vuitton Speedy Bandolier 25 versus the Coach Ruby Satchel. And I'll see you next time. Take care and stay safe, everyone. Bye for now.